Okay, great. If you are just joining in, you are welcome. 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 Like I said earlier, we are going to be looking at the Ethereum match, and for those that don't know me, or if you're just coming into our sessions, our Saturday crypto sessions, my name is Rock, and I'm a cryptocurrency trader and a content creator for crypto-based media. So let's get started immediately. Okay, where is my slide now? Oh, let's see this. No, not this one. Okay, okay, here we have it. Okay, great. Understanding the Ethereum match. So you have the permission to screenshot the slides also for reference purposes so that you can make references to it later on. So understanding the merge. Okay, yeah. So firstly, how does the merge works? I hope you all can see my screen and hear me clearly. Please, if at any point you can't hear me or see my screen, kindly raise your hand so that I'm going to know and I'm going to fix it. Now, how does the merge works? Now, Ethereum merge is basically moving from a proof of work mechanism to a proof of stake mechanism. Now, if you are new to cryptocurrencies, these things might be strange to you. These terms of proof of work and proof of stake might be strange to you, but I'll explain it to you in the simplest of terms. Yes, so Bitcoin, Bitcoin is mined through a proof of work. The miners are the one that validates the network in a proof of work system, and then a proof of work system, a proof of work blockchain consumes a lot of power. That is why you can see that you can't just find any, you can't just mine Bitcoin anywhere. You can't mine Bitcoin in Nigeria, for instance. Where do you want to get the electricity? Bitcoin consumes power, and even here we don't even have electricity supply like that. Not to talk of having a high voltage of power. So the mining actually consumes power. Mining is simply solving some equations, and also validating transactions. So that is what it is. Now, proof of work blockchain mining is hard, and that is what Bitcoin is. That is what Ethereum too started with. With the Ethereum mainnet, it started with proof of work, whereby it is very hard to validate transaction and all of that. And that is, although it is secure, but that is part of the reasons why we have some slow transactions. Sometimes, you send a coin and then it will take long before it gets delivered, high fees and all of that. This is mostly because of a proof of work system. Now, what about a proof of stake? Proof of stake is a kind of mechanism whereby a lot of validators bring their funds together. There's funds in that particular chain whereby they use to validate the transaction. So they validate the transaction, and these people take fees. It is these fees that they take that will serve as their interest, that will serve as their reward for mining a coin. But in this instance, it is proof of stake, unlike the other proof of work that is harder to do. And proof of stake consumes a lesser energy. It consumes lesser energy. Now, Ethereum merge basically is moving from a more harder system to a more simpler, easier system, and that is proof of work moving to proof of stake. So when next you see someone saying, "Oh, proof of work, Ethereum merge this and that," now you know what it means. But that is not all. Miners validate transaction in proof of work. I think I've mentioned that. And then also the proof of stake is POS. Sorry for the abbreviations, but the proof of stake is POS. Proof of work is POW. Now, proof of stake is secured by validators. They stake Ethereum in order to validate transaction. Just like I said earlier, these people are the ones that stake a lot of funds, a lot of Ethereum, so that they can validate your transaction. Unlike those that work with every computer solvings, every mathematical solvings to validate your transaction. In this instance, they stake funds, they stake funds together in order to be able to help you to validate your transaction and create blocks. Now, validating transaction means creating new blocks. Yes, it means creating new blocks. Normally, a block. We have blockchain. A lot of people don't even know the meaning of blockchain. That is very poor of you if you are in the crypto space and then you don't know what it actually means. So a blockchain is like the combination of blocks, blocks. That is what a blockchain is. Just very simple combination of blocks. That that is it. It's as simply that. Now, for these blocks to be mined, for these blocks to be created, for these transactions to be validated, you can either use proof of work or proof of stake. Like I said earlier, proof of work is harder, proof of stake is simpler. So it is as easy as that. Now, let's take a look at the reasons for the merge. Let's take a look at the reasons for the merge. Now, I understand that some people might still not get what this merge actually means. But let me just quickly give you an instance. Now, let's say for instance now, Ethereum merge. Let me just quickly brief you on something. Ethereum merge. This is how everything started. This is how everything started. I don't think this thing is really updated, but let me just quickly brief it for you. This is how the merge is done. It has 3 stages, and it is also in the white paper of Ethereum when Ethereum mainnet was created. Vitalik Buterin and the rest, they added it into the white paper that Ethereum is going to go through a stage of updating later in the future. But then it was known as Ethereum 2.0, which is ETH 2.0. It is later on people started calling it Ethereum merge. That Ethereum merge, that name has now changed from 2.0 to Ethereum merge. So now basically this is how it works. There are 3 stages for this upgrade. There are 3 stages. The first one is using creating the beacon chain. The beacon chain is a proof of stake. Now remember that I told you that there is a proof of work system, and which is the Ethereum mainnet. Now the beacon chain is like creating another blockchain, which is proof of stake, and that particular part, that particular upgrade was done in December 2020. Now I know a lot of you will say, since December 2020, then this upgrade should have been done with Ethereum. What else? What else is left? What else is delaying? These people have to test this beacon chain. They have to test it very, very well and make sure that it is secure before they now say, okay, let's merge this beacon chain, let's merge this Ethereum and all of that. Now it's just like a moving car. Now, mostly we still have cars that use fuel. We still have cars like the one I'm in right now uses fuel, uses petrol to move. So now, let's say the engine of a car, you want to change the engine of a car from a fuel engine to an electric engine. We have electric cars now. We have Tesla and all of that. Now, and this car is moving, remember. But now what we want to do is that we want to change these engines without stopping the car. How is that possible? When it comes to Ethereum, merging, everything is possible. So now this is what we do. We create a new blockchain, which is the proof of stake, the beacon blockchain, which is now the electric engine. So we are creating the electric engine, and remember that the proof of work, the mainnet, it is still working. The car is still moving forward. Now the engine is being created, and that was the engine that was created December 2020. Now after that engine was created, there are a lot of tests. People were testing the engine, and a lot of validators were staking and staking and staking for future rewards. That engine has already been created. Now it gets to the point whereby we want to change this engine. Now what are we going to do? We are going to first put that electric engine inside the car without removing the petrol engine. Now it is when we are done, when the merging is done, when everything is now based on the electric engine, we can now say, okay, let us remove our petrol engine, and then our car is still moving on fine without stopping the car. Now without stopping the car here means without stopping transaction on Ethereum. So that is basically what is happening. I hope you all get it with this illustration. So it is simply changing from proof of work to proof of stake. But right here, the proof of stake was developed in 2020, which is the beacon chain. Now the merge was the one that was being done September 15, which is like 2 days ago. So these people now, they've done everything, and they've they've later merged this particular proof of stake. They've merged this together. Although there is still proof of work in particular in Ethereum. These things, I don't want it to get too complicated, so I won't really go too deep Although the proof of work engine is still in Ethereum, but it serves an execution purpose. It is still in the execution layer. So you don't really need to know all those terms. But simply what I'm telling you is that they are trying to change the engine from proof of work to proof of stake. So there are reasons why this merging, all of this stress are going to be done. Now, note, remember when I started this meeting, I said the upgrade is not done yet. There is still one last phase, which is sharding. Yes, I'm still going to explain sharding later, but there's still one last phase. Now, right now we're in the merge phase. The merge was successful. We all saw it. We are all happy with the merge and all of that. Now, what is the main reason? Like, what is the particular inspiration behind this merge? Why did they say, okay, we want to upgrade Ethereum and all of that? Now, remember that I told you that in the beginning. Okay, let me quickly check. Let me actually get feedbacks like this. Okay, great. So, what is the main reason for merging Ethereum? The main reason for all of this stress and all of that? There are a lot of reasons. Now, remember when we first started the meeting, I told you that Ethereum, it has been in the white paper of Ethereum that there is going to be an upgrade in the future. Why? Because Ethereum cannot continue to use the proof of work system. It cannot continue to use the proof of work because it is too hard. It consumes a lot of electricity. It is not eco-friendly and all of that. Which is the system. Don't forget that Bitcoin is still using this particular proof of work system, and that is why it is hard to mine. If mining was simple, I'll just grab my phone right now, start mining Bitcoin, I'll start earning Bitcoin, I'll start validating transaction. But it's not. It's not simple. These people solve hard mathematical calculation just to validate your transaction. You think it is just very easy for your Bitcoin? You send Bitcoin from one person to, and you don't even know whatever is behind it. They are the validators. They are the validators that are validating your transaction blocks by blocks. That's when you see when you send your this thing, your Bitcoin, you see one confirmation, two confirmation, three confirmation. Those are the blocks confirmation. Blocks are linked together. These blocks are linked. That's why it's called blockchain. That's why it's called blockchain. And every blockchain has its own system. It has the system that it uses. So also let me see the three most important characteristics of a good blockchain that all blockchain needs to have, but it's not all blockchain that have it. Is I think let me see if I still remember the security, the scalability, and also I think the sustainability should be the third one. I'm not really sure. It's just like a triangle drawing. But let's move on. So, like I said earlier, it's already in Ethereum's plan. It's already in the white paper of Ethereum that there's going to be an upgrade. Um, and also, we all know because proof of work consumes a lot of energy. I've mentioned that. Now, this upgrade is going to bring energy efficiency. Like instead of using 99% energy, that will be slashed down. It will be slashed down. The network won't use a lot energy to validate again. And then also, it will now be eco-friendly. Most of this electricity that is being generated and, smoke and all of that, everything is destroying the ozone layer. And people are saying we are not living a green environment. You all can see what El Salvador is doing. The green Bitcoin city where they are using is it volcano to mine Bitcoin. So that kind of scenario is like, okay, we are promoting a green Bitcoin environment. That is the kind of scenario because most of the challenges that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency have with most governments is that they are going to start telling you that Bitcoin is not eco-friendly, it can destroy our environment because of the energy is too high, the energy consumption, and all of that. So now this is what Ethereum is trying to solve all of that energy problem. Now, and then also I've mentioned that so that the blockchain will also be eco-friendly. It is very important. And also more security. That is like the main goal of this whole merge. And then also, we also have decentralization. Yes, in the future, when the sharding gets done, the sharding is simply dividing, or let me say, slicing a blockchain, sliding it to different parts. Cutting it to different parts. You know, just cutting it and separating it to different parts. So now Ethereum sharding will be into 64 parts so that there will be enough validators, not just one, not just two validators, but now Ethereum will now be more decentralized. That is what we are trying to say here. And then that is part of the reason for the merge. Although this might not really happen now, but in the future, we are done with one phase now. We are done with the merging. Remains the sharding. So that sharding also will be done definitely. Now, Another reason is for a little bit faster transaction. A little bit faster transaction. Normally, Ethereum, for a block to be created, it takes 13 seconds. That means before the upgrade, when Ethereum is still on proof of work, each block to be created, it takes 13 seconds, 13 seconds, 13 seconds. And blocks are connected, and then there should be a specific amount of block confirmation before you know that your transaction was valid. If I'm sending to any of you in this particular meeting, if I'm sending Ethereum to any of you in this particular meeting, or you guys are sending Ethereum to me, there will be a particular amount of block confirmation before I can say, okay, the transaction is valid. This is why we call these people validator. They are the one that will let me know, okay, that transaction was valid. This person indeed actually sent you Ethereum. This person indeed actually sent you money. And then, in fact, blockchain is very, very simple. That is, if you put your mind to understand it very well. So, basically, that is it. That is it. So that those transactions is going to be faster. Like I said earlier, to create a block on Ethereum to validate transaction blocks by blocks is 13 seconds. So 13 seconds for each blocks. So 13 seconds for each block. So presently, after the merge, what happened was that, or let me say, what is expected after the merge is that this speed is going to increase a little bit. So instead of using 13 seconds, each blocks can use 12 seconds or a little bit higher than 12 seconds, but not the same 13 seconds again. So not the same 13 seconds again. So depending on the number of the block confirmation. So depending on the number of block confirmation, and also for sustainability, so that Ethereum can be sustainable and can be used by a lot. There are a lot of tokens built on Ethereum. If you check this token, they tell you, we are on Ethereum blockchain. You check that one, we are on Ethereum blockchain. Check this one, Ethereum blockchain. Check that one, Ethereum blockchain. So the success of this particular merge actually depends. A lot of coins, a lot of tokens depends on the success of this particular merge. So that is why a lot of resources is being diverted to make sure that all the merge and everything is successful. Now, these are the common misconceptions about the Ethereum merge. Myths, stuffs that people believe that will happen after the merge. Now, some people still believe that a new Ethereum, its 2.0 will be created, like a new coin will be created. No, this is not so. A new coin will not be created. A new its 2.0 coin will not be created. So that is not so. And also, people believe that normally we know Ethereum for high transaction fees. Now, a lot of people believe that there will be lower transaction fees, and then also higher transaction speed, higher throughput. But this is not so. Sorry to inform you, if you think that that particular merge is going to give you lower Ethereum fees, no, it's not going to. If you are sending a transaction, we are still going to be using about the same fee. So I know the question on your mouth right now is to ask, okay, what is now the essence of this merge if it's not going to be giving us lower fees? Well, I've said that earlier. The essence of this merge is to create an eco-friendly blockchain. It is also to create a blockchain that uses low energy so that it can be easier to mine, and then a blockchain that is decentralized, and then a blockchain that is sustainable. Blockchain that is sustainable. Very, very simple. Now, we've said it. Ethereum merge has happened. It happened on the 15th September. What now is the aftermath? What has happened after this event? The merge was successful, but it's not possible to not have at least one or two critics. Now, here are two important concerns people are worried about. In fact, this particular meeting is created to update you on everything going on around the Ethereum, this and that. And I made sure that I updated it, in fact, to capture news that happened some hours ago. So you can be well sure that we are getting value here. So the first thing that happened that people were noticing and people were saying, what's up? Why is this happening? Is that over 40% of Ethereum's proof of stake nodes are controlled by only two addresses. Let me take that again. Over 40% of Ethereum's proof of stake nodes are controlled by only two addresses. It means that there is more power in the hands of two addresses. And do you guys know these two addresses? Does anyone know these two addresses? If you know these two addresses, I want to know if you guys are updated with the market. If you know these two addresses, let me see. Raise your hands up. Raise your hands. Let me give you the mic so you can talk. If you know the two addresses that has the highest nodes, on Ethereum. Let me see. Let me see your hands up. Just raise your hand. Just wave. Just wave it. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. So no one knows about it. Okay. 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 Let me continue. Let me continue. So the two addresses are addresses from Lido and Coinbase. Those two, yeah, this is for Lido and Coinbase. So this thing happened, and a lot of people are afraid that okay, it looks like Ethereum now wants to get this centralized. That it looks like power in the hands of few people. The ideology behind Bitcoin normally, behind cryptocurrencies normally, is decentralization. When you have power decentralized in the hands of the people. So okay, there's this tweet from Sentiment that said, according to our Ethereum post-merge inflation dashboard, for 6.15% of the proof of stake nodes for storing data, processing transactions, and adding new blockchains, blocks can be attributed to just two addresses. This heavy dominance by this address is something to watch. There's an heavy dominance. There's an heavy dominance by these two people. How can two addresses only be validating the transaction of a lot of Ethereum this thing? What if these addresses, what if these institutions get hacked or they get attacked? That is the essence of decentralization anyway. That is the essence of decentralization, just to make sure that we give security and make sure that it is not easy to hack the system. That is it. Although systems are still getting hacked, but at least it is not as easy for the hackers as it is before. And then there are still some systems that are not easy to hack. Proof of work, before you can hack a proof of work blockchain, is a big work. Honestly, it is a big work. And then Ethereum is trying to move to a proof of stake that is strong, even stronger than a proof of work. So that is it, honestly. That is it, honestly. Now, the next thing that happened is the SEC. SEC might be looking to scrutinize Ethereum and consider it a security since it is now proof of stake. After the merge was done, for you to know that chairman, the SEC chairman is following Gary Gensler. Yeah, Gary Gensler is always following. It's the same people, this same SEC that sued Ethereum. Sorry, I take that back. It is this same SEC that sued XRP. How many of you here know Ripple Coin? XRP. That year, XRP went down crazily. Like it was very, very crazy. I don't even know the update about XRP right now. I don't know whether they are still in court or something. But they were dragging that XRP was a security that was not registered. And once the security is discovered that is not registered, they have to pay fines. They have to pay bills to the SEC. They have to pay fines because normally any security stocks or anything, it has to be registered with the Security and Exchange Commission in the United States. So it is very, very important. Now, SEC is saying that this is the particular report. SEC is saying that any system or any cryptocurrency, that most cryptocurrencies that are proof of stake, that most of them are securities. Why? Because it works in a way that it collects funds together to give people returns. It's just working like dividends when you're talking about shares, working like the returns of shares and all of that. So that is why these people are always at cryptocurrencies and saying, okay, maybe Ethereum might be the next cryptocurrency to attack. Don't worry, this is not the bad news. I'm very, very sure that there are a lot of plans to wave the SEC off and all of that. So you can be rest assured. So honestly, guys, that is it. That is everything you need to know about understanding the Ethereum merge, explained to you in simple terms. And then I hope you all understand this. I hope you all understand this. If you have any question or you have observation or you just like to appreciate us, um, kindly raise your hand now so I can give you the mic. Okay, sorry about that. That was my network. So, Prince Oforma, are you raising your hand? I'm going to give you the mic right now. I saw your hand first. So, Prince Oforma, you can unmute your mic and speak now if you have any questions for us.
Okay, good evening, guys. I want to
Okay,
ask,
good
I
evening.
thought the main reason for the NTL merge was for probably lower transaction fee, because that's what I read online. But I was not too updated with more of the information on the NTL.
Yeah.
because I haven't
So
gone to that part yet.
okay, okay. So a lot of people thought it was for lower transaction fees. Honestly, a lot of people thought, and then I was surprised when I was doing my research. Not today. I was doing my research, and then I see it again today. I was like, wow. So this is not even about lower transaction fees. No, okay, fine. We can get lower transaction fees in the future, but it's definitely not now. Definitely not now. Not now. So we can get lower transaction fees in the future. We don't know, maybe because they've moved to proof of stake and all of that. But it is definitely not now. And we don't know when that lower transaction fees is going to come. But they're just trying to tell us. So it will look like, okay, we've promised you guys lower transaction fee, and then you don't have lower transaction fee now. People now start dragging Ethereum. I can't even notice. I remember there was one particular news we did on crypto based media that this guy Vitalik Buterin, the guy was saying, okay, this Ethereum, we are still testing it. So there will be critics. If there is mistake, no problem. Just know that it is still in a testing stage. The guy was plainly telling everyone that it is still in a testing stage. So you critics, you should warn yourself. So okay, it is fine. We want to hear your critics, but you should know that it is not yet a perfect job. So that you guys will start saying, Ethereum is down, Ethereum has been hacked when anything happens. So the guy just like doing risk control from onset. So I think even that lower transaction fees is not promised. It's also a system of risk control, because normally we know proof of stake blockchains as as blockchain that gives us lower fees. Look at BSC, for instance, Binance Smart Chain. It gives us lower fees. Look at TRX. I think TRX also is proof of stake. I can't really remember, but I think it is also proof of stake. But it also gives us lower transaction fees. So I think that is it. That is it. Okay. The next person, I'm going to be unmuting you right now. Okay. Okay. I can't actually get your name because it's saved with an emoji, but you can unmute and speak now.
Yeah, I was about just going to ask about this the gas fee for ETH, but you've answered the
I
question.
can't hear you clearly.
I said I was going to ask about the gas fee for ETH, but you just talked about it.
Okay. Great. Honestly, concerns of most people is because of that particular gas fee. That particular you can mute your mic now. You can mute your mic now. Yeah. So concern of most people is about that gas fee. Honestly, even me myself, there are a lot of transactions that I would have done on Uniswap if not for gas fee. That gas fee alone. Even for the fact that okay, I know this particular transaction, my profit is going to cover the gas fee, but the instance I hear, oh Ethereum, oh gas fee, a lot of people just you just leave it. But the fact is that gas fee or no gas fee, money is still being made on that particular blockchain. Money is being made. I can remember yeah, like 2-3 years ago, man, Uniswap was hot. It was the hot cake before this particular decentralized exchange now came. PancakeSwap now came using BSC, lower fees, promising lower fees again, and all of that. And people were jumping on it. Everything was pumping on there. Just like you can just get lucky. Just look for a coin on Coin Telegraph. Look for a coin on Coin Market Cap. Buy it, and you see the coin pumping fast. Wow, that was crazy. People were buying shit coin here and there. So honestly, let me say lower fees allows every nooks and cranny to come in. Everybody will come in with lower fees. Now, I don't think for now that particular pancake swap, although people are still making money on it, coins are still being launched on it, but the hype is not like before. Like then, Cake made some crazy moves then. Sorry for using the word crazy, but Cake made some percentage gains. Like I was holding Cake then. I can remember clearly. I was holding Cake, but I can't really remember the prices then, but I can remember that I was holding Cake and Cake was pumping. Everyone was happy. Oh, wow, this is fine. I think this was 2020, 2021. Yes, 2020, 2021. So Cake was pumping. Everybody was fine. $40. Everywhere was clean. And then suddenly, the dump came and everyone was humbled. So, especially people that did not manage risk very well. So, honestly, that is it. You should know that there are hypes in this particular market. There are hypes in the crypto. There are sometimes that the hypes of DeFi. No, see, let me tell you guys one thing. There are some hypes that are not going to die. Some hypes will not die. Some hypes will not die. And these are strong hypes, when we talk about hypes, I'm talking about maybe when pumps are moving from ecosystem to don't worry, when we start a new bull market, you know what I'm talking about very well. You see pumps moving from ecosystem to ecosystem. Sometimes you just see DeFi coins pumping. That particular DeFi I mentioned, go and check the top coins in DeFi and see how they've performed years back. See how they've performed in every pump. You see how these guys follow every pump. That's why I know that this is one hype that is not going to die anytime soon. You know, there were FUD in DeFi, and sometimes DeFi coins were going down, but still, DeFi still rise. DeFi is still there. You know, coins like ARV, most of them like that. Most of them like that. So that is it. I just gave you guys a clue. Just do your own research. Do your research. So there are a lot of coins, there are a lot of pumping. In fact, during NFTs own too, NFTs too, Ethereum, because of Ethereum gas fee, some people were not able to buy NFT because of the high gas fee. How much do I want to now buy this NFT? How much do I want to sell it? You know, this and that. But you know, when you start looking at that and then you are not calculating everything well, you might as well be losing out on profits. You know, so anytime you want to make transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, just look at it, look at the transaction you want to make. At the end of the day, is it going to profit me? You know, that is it. So it's as simple as that, honestly. So is there anyone else that wants to ask any question? You can as well raise your hand and then I'm going to unmute and let you in. Okay, DJ Kelv. Okay, DJ Kelv, you can unmute yourself and speak now.
All right. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, I want to know before the merge, that is when the news came that there will be a merge, we all expected that there will be a pump after the merge, but unfortunately, after the merge, I think Ethereum dumped by 10%, which was a surprise to someone like me. And I've tried to understand what really happened, but till now it's just blank to me. Please, do you have any explanation for that?
Okay, thank you. You can unmute now. Yeah. You know, in cryptocurrencies, should I say bias? Bias changes very fast. Now, you said when you were doing your research before you bought Ethereum, you saw that Ethereum is possible for Ethereum to pump after the merge and all of that. You know, that is what everybody thought before. Even by the time of Ethereum 2.0, when the hype was plenty there, the hype was much, people were thinking, wow, it's better to stake it now. This Ethereum is going to pump. That time Ethereum was still around 3,000. It was still around $3,000. People were already predicting $10,000 for Ethereum. And everybody was pumped up. Wow, when Ethereum now merges, everything is going to pump and everything like that. You know, later on, when we're already in a bear market, and then I made my, that is why you don't just rely your research just once. Before you take your trade decision, you must check. Even when you've already bought the coin, you must still continue to check. So I made my research recently, even before the pumping and all of that. Now I was saying what is going to be expected from Ethereum, this thing, what is going to be expected from the merge. Yes, and I saw that from the information I gathered that Ethereum is going to dump. I actually saw it that from that information that Ethereum is going to dump. And you know, there are a lot of reasons to this thing. Now, maybe the opinion you saw online might be of people that staked in Ethereum 2.0 because of Ethereum 2.0. You know, that thing was much then that exchanges were saying, okay, let's take this and that. And a lot of people were staking. What I'm talking about, is a long time ago. A lot of people were staking Ethereum. They say, okay, we are ready to stake this Ethereum to 2 years. A lot of people that stake bought their Ethereum as $2,000, $3,000. So normally people expect that, okay, when something like this happens, Ethereum is going to pump. Now, recently the bias changed, you know, because we are in a bear market. So we're like, okay, maybe if these things happen, because there's particularly a system whereby if you, I think most exchanges, if you hold Ethereum and then when the snapshot is being taken, you'll be distributed, I think is it WETH or so, maybe wrapped ETH or so. So you'll be distributed that particular coin, and then what people were doing before the merge was that people were borrowing Ethereum. People were borrowing Ethereum so that they can hold Ethereum and they can take that snapshot. So after they take that snapshot, they receive
their coin. They receive their coin, and what will they do to the Ethereum next? They have to dump it. Once they've borrowed, they have to return it, or they have to sell it for another coin. So that is what is happening, and that is, I think, the simple to understand reason for the dump. Well, actually, I even thought the dump was going to be was going to go down more than this. Honestly, I thought the dump was going to be more fatal. I opened a short on Ethereum, but it didn't get to my target. But I saw that okay, looks like this market is particularly in on decision, and then I think maybe my trade decision is already worn out. Then I close the trade. Although it is already in profit, but at least I still close the trade, and then everything is still fine. So that is it. That is it. Honestly, that is it. Honestly.